Hello and welcome to Vlogmas 2020. I am Fred, your host. A lot of people are doing Vlogmas, I think. I know of one other person, Lawrence Brown at Lost in the Pond. I'm assuming other people do. I don't watch a lot of vloggers. I just do this for myself because it's kind of fun. Today's beer is, tall, 35K from Lou Brewery, Kentucky, Against the Grain Brewery in Louisville, Kentucky. Sorry, Louisville. Those who know, Louisville. And even the V sounds a little optional. This is just a stout beer. I don't think I have to pour it hard or whatever it said, but oh, look at the thick, dark head on that. This may not fit in my glass. I should not have poured it hard. It works fine with smaller beer. What is this? Oh, it's an actual pint. Well, that's the problem right there. This may take me a second to pour. I may have to pour it for a second time. So before we get to the first sip, let me let the foam die down a bit. We'll talk about today's topic, which is pandemic crafting. Now, a lot of my friends, being the artsy types, have been doing arts and crafts, and they always do. And when the pandemic started, and it kind of hit home, and then mid-March, like I started working from home on St. Patrick's Day. I was working from home that day anyway, but they asked us not to come back in the office. And I still haven't been back in the office, and I've been working home and will continue to do so at least to the end of this year. And probably a few months into the next year. But around that time when things were happening, a lot of people just couldn't go to work at all. I'm lucky in that I can do my job at home. Lucky in the fact that I can still get paid to do my job. Not necessarily lucky I get to do my job. They're lucky to have me. Anyway, my privilege is I still got to keep my job. We didn't have at least a financial burden in addition to all the social and medical and worrisome burdens that, we've all been under. Some of my friends did, some of my friends didn't. But almost everyone I know who does crafts of any kind really kind of dived into that and used this opportunity to catch up with crafts or do new things they wanted to try. Some of it was just about, some retail therapy. You buy some craft. Anyone who does crafts knows part of the fun, possibly the main fun, is planning. And by planning, I mean buying new stuff. New stuff is always cool. Remember the first day of school or before the lead up to the first day of school when you got to go to the store and buy office supplies? Why do kids like office supplies? Does it sound like kids should like office supplies? No, but we did. And I know my kids do. My kids maybe. Kids nowadays may not like office supplies as much as we did. They have digital equipment now. They don't need them. Anyway, what the heck was I going with this? Pandemic crafting. Oh yeah, buying craft supplies. So I guess my point of this, aside, was that a lot of people jumped right into crafting once they found themselves at home and not be able to go out and not be able to do a lot of things, and certainly not be able to see their friends and family. I did not. Now, I craft all the time. If I ever edited and uploaded my videos to my Fred Makes channels, you would see. I do, constantly. I've did crafting today already. Of course, I had a day off, so it makes it easier. Is this down yet? But yeah, I did not. I did a little bit of what I'll call pandemic baking, which I think is, hey, we made it. Which is certainly in line with the crafting. I think it's, the baking is part of it's a subset of the crafting. But not much. I bought like 25-pound bag of flour and a 10-pound bag of sugar. We still have most of it in a bag on the counter. So I need to do more. Hey, Christmas is coming up. We'll do some cookies. That way I can get rid of these giant bags of baking supplies that I bought in March and don't need. But yeah, people did baking. Some people painted, picked up old hobbies. I didn't. I worked, and when I wasn't working, I played video games and pretty much just went about my day normally. I mean, I did craft, but just not a lot. Until like September, really. And that's when my pandemic crafting kind of picked up. And I know by that point, a lot of people had kind of gotten sick of it because it was the same thing over and over again. Now, speaking of sick of it, let's take our drink for the day. By the way, it looks good. Nice stout. That's a good stout. I'd like this one. It may be a little... No. I was going to say a little darker, a little smokier than I prefer, but I changed my mind. I just had the right hint of smokiness. So 35K stout. I definitely recommend. So yeah, by the time a lot of people were kind of already getting bored with their crafting because they've gone so much into it, and people are done with the fury of making masks. Masks are more available now. There are still people making them because we all need more than one. I have a stack of them myself. I made a few of them. See on this channel, my Movie The Mask Maker, completely fictional account that I just happened to film while I was making masks. So yeah, September, October rolled around, and I finally started picking up old projects. There's a knitting project I started years ago. I finally finished up. I still have to pick up yarn project. I want to get back to crocheting, but it's been years. I can't really remember how to do it, so I have to remember how to do that. I did Inktober, which I also did last year, but this year I did it as YouTube videos on my Fred Draws channels. One channel, doing my daily Dwarf Mongoose. Once again, daily in heavy quotes. Started daily, and I did it daily in October, and I haven't done it since. I'll get back to it. It'll be, I think, about a third of the year's worth, maybe. Will I get 100 drawings? I might get 120 drawings this year of Dwarf Mongooses. So I did that. There was a prop I was building for a show I was in that first got postponed because of the pandemic, and then the location shut down, and so now it's in ultra limbo. But I'm still making a prop for it because I was already in the process. Actually, what I decided was, as soon as the pandemic happened, we got pushed out a few months. I was like, oh, in that case, I can make this prop. And I started it right away and then didn't continue it until, a month and a half ago. It's still not done. It's actually one of the crafts I was talking about that won't show up on my Fred Makes channel until we're done with Vlogmas, because I have to go put all this equipment back downstairs in my basement where I film those things, and the setup is completely different. I don't want to switch back and forth all the time. I don't have multi-camera setup here. If you want to buy me some more camera supplies stuff, yeah, go right ahead. Send me a message or something. But in reality, I just continued it because it became a fun project. I've been doing a lot of woodworking for me, which I'd done on and off since I was a kid. But I got back into it. I bought some more tools for it several years ago, and then finally actually started doing similar things when I was building sets for theater. And so I've been doing more useful things now, or at least trying to get into the useful things. I would give you an example if I can remember. I know the last thing I built was a table saw sled so that I could build a few apple boxes, which I needed for this Vlogmas filming, and still haven't done. My lava lamp's being held up by textbooks because they're wide, they're flat, and I don't care if they get a little singe from the bottom bulb. So yeah, I've been doing lots of crafts. I got my website set up again. Very sillily. It's an odd way of doing it, but it's available. Right now all it does is point to these videos, so, if you can figure out what it is, you can go watch it, you can go see and click and then get right back to where you started. I've been 3D printing for a year? 2 years? God, 2 years. This year passed weirdly. Coming from my second year of 3D printing, it's going mostly okay. I had a failure. I ran out of filament doing a large model recently, and then I got replacement filament, and it failed. And then it failed so bad I got to go clean it. That's one of the things I was avoiding doing today on my day off. So yeah, I mean, I finally got into the crafting thing. And I don't want to say manic about it, but I certainly got more involved in what I was doing. And I hope that you, pardon, language, I hope that you, if you do any crafting, art things, that you have been doing it, you've been using your time to do that, you've been kind of, I don't want to say filling the void, but let's face it, when we can't see our friends and family, there is a void in our lives. Try to help fill that void with the things you love to do. And if you haven't, if you don't consider yourself artistic or not a craft person, but you want to try something, just do it. If you don't want to try something, you want to pretend you're going to try something, go on YouTube and watch a bunch of videos on how to do it. One of the later Vlogmases, we'll talk about what I watch on YouTube. And you'll see a lot of what I do, what I'll watch, I will never do. But they're still interesting. Can't really take a class now. That was always the thing. Go to. Take a class on something. You got time. Don't take a class. Stay home, please. Wear masks. I mean, I'm speaking from the U.S. state that's been ranked bottom in the world several times for COVID cases per capita. So, you know, yay, our governor. What a depressing thought. Oh, good. Another depressant. This is my 7th day in a row of drinking. I can say unequivocally, but not clearly, it's not for me. I'm about a quarter of the way through. We'll see how long I get. Anyway, go ahead and check out my other Vlogmas videos. The first 6 of these, they're always entertaining. Oh, speaking of which, hot dog casserole, Mom did tell me on Facebook what I did wrong was I put too much mustard in. Too much mustard was the answer, which may be why it was so yellow. Go check out the Inktober on the drawing channel, or the latest Minecraft video and all the hundreds I've done before that on my regular Friday. Sorry for that cut. My camera only films a certain length of time, and apparently I've been babbling on longer even than normal. Usually I come in right in where I want to be. So I have no idea where I cut off. Check the links in the description. Go watch all the other channels. Stay tuned for more of these. Haven't come up till the 24th. Haven't had how much alcohol is in this? It's been a long day. I've done a lot of Minecraft today. So until tomorrow, prosit.